Hey there, Tammy Kabell with Career Resume Consulting once again. And today I want to talk to you about a different method of getting in touch with the right people. In other words, the person that would be your boss, and not just going through human resources. Now, we usually work with people making multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars a year many times, not always, but oftentimes, and it's extremely difficult to get a position like that going through the normal channels. We have to go through what's called the hidden job market. So I want to give you a rule that you can follow to actually tap into the hidden job market, something that we are finding this year in 2018 to be extremely successful. So I'm going to date myself here by talking to you about the rule of ABC. If you'll remember a long time ago, you might remember, if you're old enough, there was a movie, Alec Baldwin was in it. It was called Glengarry Glen Ross, and he had a rule. It was ABC, always be closing. It's actually a very good movie. Pretty adult, but if you're an adult, you should watch it, especially if you're in sales. So I'm dating myself there. But I was talking with one of my clients this week, and he mentioned another ABC rule. He said, you know what? I think it should be changed nowadays. I think it should be ABC, always be connecting. And I love that, because what we've been doing since, oh gosh, it's been about 12 weeks now, we've come up with a new program called the Networking Superhighway, and I know that sounds really corny, but it really is drinking from a fire hose, and I'll tell you the results have been tremendous, and I want to share a little bit about what you can do whether you work with us or not. It actually stems from LinkedIn. So as you might know if you watch some of my videos or many of my videos, some of the ones in the past years have talked about doing something very different than anybody else is doing, which is sending a hard copy resume with a handwritten note. And I've espoused that for 9 out of the 10 years that I've owned my business. But in 2017, it stopped working as well. So we started I actually spent several months really researching the job market. Where was the action taking place? Where were people getting jobs? Where were people getting conversations and interviews? Because I've always been someone that believes that if you set yourself up or position yourself in your marketing material, whether that be your resume or your LinkedIn presence online, that it needs to position you as a standalone investment and not a candidate, okay? So think about yourself. If you were a standalone investment and you had no other competition, how would you pay for yourself? How have you paid for yourself in the past? So I know this is getting a little off topic from Always Be Connecting, but I'll bring it back in just a moment. So if you position yourself as someone who can solve problems, solve pain points of a company, whether that be growing pains or perhaps turning around an underperforming operation, increasing sales, expanding markets. It could be a variety of ways that you pay for yourself. But if you position yourself in your marketing material, and please understand that your resume and your online presence is your marketing material. So if you position yourself as a standalone investment, you can actually pretty easily get a job created for you in a short number of months rather than the 12 to 18 months that it usually takes a six-figure professional to get their next job. So the reason that I'm mentioning this to you is that you have to have the right message when you're connecting. And when I'm talking about connecting, the results of my research that took me about 2.5, 3 months to do was that the action last year, and again in 2018, we're finding that a lot of the activity is happening on LinkedIn. Now, as you may know, Microsoft bought LinkedIn, and they have poured a lot of money and changed the user interface several times on LinkedIn, and I do believe that they are wanting to turn LinkedIn into the Facebook of business, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, and I think that they're doing a pretty good job of it because they're expanding the number of groups that you can be in. They're really wanting to be your source of news, business news, and they're doing a really good job of that. So if you're connecting with the right people, in other words, the person or persons that would be your boss, and you can actually do a connection campaign, which is what we've been doing with our clients for the last 12 weeks. And I got to tell you, it's been really successful. So if you have the right message, in other words, you're painting yourself to show how you can be a standalone investment. In other words, you are expressly stating what you can do for a company. In other words, you're connecting your dots between what you've done in the past and what you can do for them. Okay? So once that's done, then you can send a connection request to people that would be your hiring manager, would be the ultimate decision maker. Now you want to do a lot of these, and actually we found a way to automate it, and we're connecting with a lot of people, a lot of really great people. I'm actually doing it myself. We've got many of our clients that are engaged in it, and just in the last 11 weeks that we've been doing it, we've already had 2 people accept offers and start new jobs. We've had another 2 accept verbal offers, and now we're, well, not really accepting, but we're in the negotiation phase. So 4 people already have found positions in the last 11 weeks. I'm very, very excited about this. As a matter of fact, my first level connections in those 11 weeks have gone from maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but 9,500 connections to over 27,000 connections. So these are people that I would want to work with. These are people in my target audience, and you can do that by doing a people search on LinkedIn for the right people in the right companies that you would want to work for. And then you send them a connection request, but the message, remember, the message has to be good. You have to have a great LinkedIn profile. So I'll link to my LinkedIn advice in the description below and also in the comments. And I want you to watch that video because it'll tell you how to put together a great LinkedIn profile from very top down to very bottom, and make sure that you don't miss anything. Also, we do have a service that we can just do a very quick resume consultation with a LinkedIn consultation, and it's a 2-week program that if you're interested in can, it's not writing your resume, but it's telling you what you can do with your resume to create that message that you're looking for, and then how to put it on LinkedIn and create a wonderful LinkedIn profile. So we've been growing tremendously, and we've got a lot of really exciting new programs, and I'm very excited to share those with you. So today, the big lesson is always be connecting, have the right message first, and then connect with people on a daily basis. What you want to do once you connect with them, the secret is in the follow-up. You then want to follow up with them and try to move that relationship, which is simply a connection, from online to offline as soon as possible. And that means asking them if they want to have a phone conversation. And if they do, then perhaps you can turn that phone conversation into a phone interview if you are relevant, and if you want to talk about being relevant. There is another video that is my questioning strategy. There's actually 2 videos. It's a 2-part video about what kind of questions to ask a hiring manager or a potential decision maker, so that you can become a consultative salesperson to them, and you can find out what it is that their biggest pain points are and their aspirations. So check out those videos as well. I hope this has served you today. If you're interested in any of the couple of programs that I talked about today, feel free to give us a call. Our number is in the description below, and so is my personal email. Feel free to email me, and I can send you some information on it, and you can talk with one of our team members. So I hope that you always be connecting, just like my client said earlier this week, and I wish you the very best of luck in your career search. And if there's anything that we can help you with, of course, feel free to add it to the comments below if you've got a question, or contact us directly with the information in the description. And I hope to talk to you soon. This is Tammy Kabell with Career Resume Consulting. Have a wonderful week, and I really look forward to hearing about your success. Bye now.